Welcome to the channel, and today we'll be listing the best-selling hip-hop albums of 2018 so far based on pure sales, and prepare to be gobsmacked by some of these figures. It's the year 2018, and now, with music streams counting towards album sales and whatnot, the RIAA in the United States can now determine if an album will be certified platinum even before it releases by streams from singles released prior to the main album. Hence, artists can now test the waters with singles, and as soon as a single catches on, choose to include it as part of their forthcoming album just to earn a platinum certification. For instance, a single with 1.5 billion audio or video streams in the United States is enough to earn you a platinum certification these days, and even before the album is released. We have even seen some new gymnastics by artists like Nicki Minaj that chose to add Fifi to her Queen album later on because it performed better than all her singles off the Queen album, just to be eligible for a platinum certification in the United States. This is a song that was technically 6ix9ine's, but later on added to the Queen album. Today we'll be cutting through all the equivalent sales mumbo jumbo and listing the best-selling hip-hop albums of 2018 so far. Prepare to be surprised, and before we get started, remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel and turn on notifications. Queen by Nicki Minaj released in August 2018 and debuted worldwide with sales of 234,000 copies sold. 185,000 equivalent units came from the United States, of which 78,000 came from pure sales. It's now mid-November, and in terms of pure sales, Queen has sold 143,000 pure copies in the United States. Kanye's Ye album released in June 2018 and consisted of just 7 tracks. 7 tracks in this era, dominated by music streams, wouldn't do you any favors in inflating equivalent sales numbers, but that's a topic for another day. The album opened with first week sales of 283,000 equivalent album units worldwide, and 208,000 of those came from the United States alone. Pure sales, however, came in at 85,000 units sold in the United States first week, and current estimates put it at 153,000 pure copies sold in the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, C5. Oh!
The Carter 5 released in September 2018 and opened with worldwide first week sales of 544,000 equivalent album units. At 23 tracks, this is pretty much a double album, and of its worldwide opening numbers, 408,000 equivalent units came from the United States. In terms of pure sales, the album opened with 140,000 pure album sales, and recent estimates put it at 182,000 pure copies sold. Invasion of Privacy by Cardi B released in April 2018 and opened worldwide with first week sales of 301,000 equivalent units globally. The album was certified 2 times platinum in the United States thanks to hugely successful singles from the album. But despite this certification, it's yet to sell 2 million equivalent albums worldwide after the album release. This is because Billboard is yet to include video streams in album sales, whereas the RIAA had this included since February 2016. In the United States, Invasion of Privacy opened with sales of 255,000 equivalent albums sold, of which 103,000 were pure sales. Recent estimates show that Invasion of Privacy has now sold 204,000 pure copies in the United States. The soundtrack album for Black Panther by Kendrick Lamar released in February 2018 and opened with worldwide sales of 202,000 equivalent units sold. 154,000 equivalent album units of this number came from the United States, of which 52,000 were from pure sales. Recent estimates revealed that the album has now sold 225,000 pure units in the United States. KOD by J. Cole released in April 2018 and opened with global equivalent sales of 477,000 units sold. In the United States, the album opened with 397,000 equivalent album units, of which 174,000 came from pure sales. So far, this is one of the highest pure sales opening of the year, and recent estimates put it at 270,000 pure albums sold in the United States. Scorpion, the biggest hip-hop album of the year going by equivalent sales, doesn't make the top 3 of the year in terms of pure sales despite being a double album that makes one sale count as 2 copies sold. Scorpion opened globally with 957,000 equivalent albums sold first week, of which 732,000 units came from the United States alone. In terms of pure sales, even Drake himself would be lying if he said he was proud of this album's performance. Of the 732,000 equivalent albums sold in the US, 160,000 were pure sales. And with this being a double album, this is quite lackluster by Drake's standards even in this era. Scorpion has now sold 300,000 pure copies in the United States. Beerbongs and Bentleys by Post Malone released in April 2018 and opened globally with sales of 603,000 equivalent units sold. Of this figure, 461,000 came from the United States alone, and 153,000 units of this US figure were pure albums sold. Beerbongs and Bentleys have now sold 335,000 pure albums in the United States so far. Astroworld by Travis Scott released in August 2018 and opened globally with sales of 650,000 equivalent albums sold. 537,000 units from this figure came from the United States alone, of which 270,000 units were pure album sales. Travis Scott inflated his pure album sales in the second week of its release by selling tour tickets bundled with the album said to be in excess of 50,000 copies, and Nicki Minaj especially wasn't happy about this for obvious reasons. Astroworld has now sold 403,000 pure albums in the United States.
You know, everybody's been telling me what they think about me for the last few months.
If you've been wondering where Kamikaze was at, we've got you covered, and at the top of this list is Kamikaze by Eminem. The album released in August 2018 and opened globally with sales of 633,000 equivalent album units. 434,000 units came from the United States alone, and without physical copies released in the first week, the album still pulled in 252,000 pure album sales. Kamikaze has now sold 435,000 pure albums in the United States, making it the top-selling hip-hop album of the year and the second top-selling overall of albums released in 2018 so far, and before the year runs out has a shot to become the best-selling album released in 2018, beating Review Town by Jason Aldean at 443,000 pure copies sold. Overall, pure sales have been horrible, and customers are not willing to purchase albums thanks to streaming platforms. But streaming platforms could be manipulated, which makes it difficult to determine the actual fan base of an artist. Administrators on the most popular playlists on streaming platforms, for instance, can be paid to slip in songs into their playlist, which in many cases can guarantee a platinum certification in a couple of weeks. Hence why pure sales remains relevant to this day. If you've been wondering where top hip-hop albums of 2018 like Culture 2 are, well, it simply didn't make the top 10 of the year, and despite being certified platinum, has sold only 112,000 pure albums in the United States. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and check out our other sales related videos on ET Lifestyle.